Hello everyone, welcome to the Takeaway Club, where I talk to interesting people across different walks of life to get to know their stories, and more importantly, the habits, routines, and other interests that shaped up their journey and got them to where they are, and some of which we can apply to our own lives and become the best version of ourselves. Today's episode is a very special one and for good reason. If you're listening to this, give yourself a pat on the back because you're going to help an underprivileged child somewhere in the world have a better tomorrow. If you're confused at this point, I'm sure it's gonna make a lot of sense when I introduce my guest. I have with me Karthee Vidya, founder of Team Everest, one of the biggest non-profit organizations in India with over 15,000 volunteers who work to provide quality education to financially challenged children. They say kindness is contagious, and I caught the bug right after hearing the efforts of Team Everest. So, for every person who listens to this episode, the Takeaway Club will contribute a fixed amount toward one of Team Everest's volunteering programs. So, without further ado, let's jump into the conversation. Hi, Karti.
Hi, Krishna.
It's such a privilege to have you on the Takeaway Club today. You have led an inspiring life that has literally impacted the lives of hundreds of young adults, who will have a better future thanks to your organization. So I want to start off with a very basic question here. How did you first get into volunteering and what was the journey like?
Okay, so I come from a place called Arani in Tiruvannamalai district. So I lived there. All my school days is mostly there. So my parents are my biggest inspiration, both my father and mother. My father used to volunteer in so many clubs. So that is where it all actually started. And till my 10th, I studied in a rural village where I met a lot of underprivileged children. I had a friend who couldn't even afford a long size notebook because his father is a cycle mechanic. He will go work along with his father, earn some money, and then like come back to buy a notebook or something. It will take him like 10 days or 15 days to buy a long size notebook. So till 10th, I used to meet those kind of people, and 11th and 12th, I joined a good private school in Chennai. So here the quality of education is totally different, and the kind of people whom I met is also totally different. So that is where like as a 11th standard boy, this was disturbing me so much that if you have money, you get one kind of education, and if you don't have money, you get a different kind of education. So I thought, okay, can we do something about it? Because education is something that doesn't just change one person; it changes an entire generation. So I thought, okay, how do we now like take education to more people? And that's where the spirit of volunteering actually came inside me. So I during my college days, I used to volunteer locally in visually challenged homes and in orphanages. And so when I got placed in an IT company during my final year, I thought I should do it big way. And that's when I started Team Everest. Is where volunteer can volunteer and help the beneficiary right from home. So if anyone go to our website www.teameverest.ngo, they can see a tab volunteer from home. You just go there. There are many different initiatives that we have kept there. So I will tell you some of the examples that we initiative that we have rolled out. We have an initiative where you can voice record your story, and like each story can be for 3 minutes, and you can upload it in our website, and we share these stories with children so that they can listen. Even we share this with visually challenged kids also. We do a lot of webinars. So we are running a CXO webinar where like we're inviting the CXOs, CEOs, CFOs, within 8 students. We have an initiative called Tell a Story where we connect a volunteer with a student, and they 15 minutes to them. We have an initiative where they can write a letter, like an younger brother, an elder brother, or an elder sister. You can write a letter, and you can take a photo and upload it on our website, and we deliver it to our children. So
That's amazing. I love the fact that how you're breaking away from the conventional ways of volunteering, where it's all about donations and that feels a little bit transactional. But reading a story to children, writing a letter, these are things that really establishes a very personal and intimate relationship with these children who are really in need for that kind of warmth. So, what are some of the other initiatives that Team Everest is focused around?
So our vision basically is to inspire every Indian to volunteer. So that's our organization focus, and that's my personal dream, and to make India the biggest volunteering nation in the world. So that's why a lot of initiatives within Team Everest is actually very volunteering focused. So and we strongly believe in education. So within Team Everest, we call education as magic, because this is something that changes, like I told, not just an individual but an entire generation. So education is so powerful. Unfortunately, this has not been given to all children at the same level. So we thought, okay, how do you take quality education to children who couldn't afford it? So that is why we started a lot of initiatives within educational sector. Some of the key initiatives are scholarship program that we run. So we run like three kinds of scholarship at this point of time. So our first biggest initiative is called as I Am the Change Scholarship Program. So where we have identified parentless and single parented students, and we sponsor them for their UG degree. So right now in Chennai, we are sponsoring like 400 children who are studying in 50 to 60 different colleges. All are parentless, single parented, and we are sponsoring them for their UG degree. So like for this scholarship, we get huge number of applications. Like last year, we got 6,200 applications. All are parentless, single parented, and we are able to sponsor only 200 children. So which is like 3% of the children only we are able to sponsor. But this is one of the biggest initiative for which we need a lot of donors and sponsors to educate more children. Second initiative is we do an initiative called Smile 100. So this is an initiative that's happening in Arani in Tirunelveli district in Tamil Nadu, so which is like 150 kilometers from Chennai, where we have identified 100 parentless, single parented students, and we sponsor them for their school education. So I Am the Change Scholarship is for college, and the Smile 100 is for school students. Like when I say parentless, the children don't come from orphanage. It's the grandma or grandpa, someone is taking care of the child. Then the third initiative we do is called as a rural scholarship program. So where we have taken 9 villages in Tirunelveli district in Tamil Nadu, and we are supporting around 600 students over there. So these three initiatives are some of the biggest initiatives that we run. Apart from that, we do a program called as digital literacy program called as Computer for All. So this is in partnership with a corporate where we have set up computer lab in 10 government schools in Chennai. We have appointed a staff. We got a period, 1 or 2 periods, and we have made it part of the timetable. And today, if you look at it, like 5,500 children were learning computer every day because of this intervention. Beyond this, we work with a lot of corporate startups and encouraging their employees to volunteer by creating a lot of volunteering opportunities. But if you ask me, these are our very key.
Wow, amazing, Karthi. Looks like at the moment that you have come to a place where you have so many programs, so many schemes running to help a lot of people. But how did it all begin when you were, in your 20s as a college student? It's one thing to help out a friend in need, or do some volunteer programs, say for certificates. A lot of people that I know, even back when I was in college, the certificates was a big attraction for us to volunteering. So, how did you go from a college student who wanted to help people into this person now who's the founder of such a big NGO?
Okay. See, basically for me, the motivation is in the joy of giving actually. So, one of the biggest realization for me is, that individuals have power to change lives. So when I figured out, you can actually change people's life. Traditionally we have been told, everything is in God's hand and God has the power to change lives. Yeah, it's true, but humans also has huge power in, like we can interfere and influence direction in a more positive way. That's my biggest inspiration. So during my college days, I was volunteering, and like in the final year, I got campus recruited in Cognizant. So that's the time I thought, like, okay, once I join, I should start Team Everest and start volunteering. So I still remember August 21, 2006. That's when I joined Cognizant in OM Thoripakam office in Chennai. And for the first 9 days, August 21 to August 30, so they gave me a small salary. So myself and three of my friends together, we collected like 4,000 rupees, and we went to a village in Tiruvannamalai where my mother was a government school principal there. So the school had many child laborers, very very underprivileged children. So like a lot of children are not able to pay the school fee. At that time, we had school fee like per year it is like 49 rupees per year, not even per month. So even we had children who couldn't even pay that fee. So we identified such children, paid them school fees, we gave them notebooks, uniforms. So that is how it all actually started. So it all started in a small village called as Sirumur in Tiruvannamalai district. And then I thought, okay, what can we do next week? And slowly, like we started doing different initiatives week on week. So almost for 8 years, 2006 to 2014, while I was working in Cognizant, I used to work for Team Everest before, after hours, and on weekends. And 2014 December 31, I quit my job. I came out because I thought, like, okay, it's enough swimming within a well. Let's go and swim in an ocean. So let's go and inspire more people to volunteer. So I came out, and today, if you look at it, we have a team of 30 people working full time with us, and we have 15,000 volunteers, and we are working with 40,000 children right now. So I think that's what actually inspired me and make me take this journey.
Let me go back to that moment where you decided to quit your job. No? It was high paying job with Cognizant, and you were ready to dive into volunteering full time. Now, it's one thing to donate for a cause when you have a stable income and do that on the side, but to leave your job at that level and then jump wholly into this, what was that feeling like? Were you afraid? Was there a sense of insecurity? Uh, how did you know things were gonna work out back then?
See, actually, I would say it's just because of passion, and I had no other options actually. Because like, okay, see, either I can live a rich life compromising my dream, or I can, like, I mean, financially probably I might not be as used to be, but I can definitely, like pursue my dream and make India the biggest volunteering nation, to promote volunteering in the country. So I had no other option apart from quitting the job. So it's either, like, okay, financially secure job, or like chasing your passion. So I mean, it's a competition between these two, because I don't come from a very financially rich background. So my mother is the major breadwinner of the family, who was the school teacher and promoted to school principal in a government school. And my father used to used to take photos and videos in the small town called Arani, and later he ran a Xerox shop actually. So there was not much of a saving and all. So I come from a lower middle class family, and both my mom and dad were no more; they passed away. So my only option to chase my dream is to quit my job and chase it. It's kind of risk, but it's worth it. So I was really not afraid. I actually, like when the day I quit, I decided, like either it goes right or wrong. The only thing that was running in my mind, I'm not going to regret my decision because it's my decision. So until and unless I think, like common people like me don't take risk, we will not be able to chase dreams, because that's the only option that's available in front of you. Say I'm a son of Bill Gates or Steve Jobs, something like that. If I'm a millionaire, then like I mean, it's pretty easy. But like when you come from a lower middle class family, I think it's kind of these kinds of risk actually pushes us forward. And for me, luckily, like it came off well, and we are able to, like right from the day I have quit in the past 5 years, we have improved our impact, the number of beneficiaries by 20 times. So I think that's the power, that's the risk that one need to take.
Wow, amazing. So I know there is an interesting story to your name, no? Karthee Vidya. So Tell us more about, how you met your wife and what kind of impact she has had on your journey as a volunteer.
Okay, great. So I think I met her in 2013 during a volunteering event. Then like the same year actually, my father also passed away. So I was in a pressure to get married. So they were asking, like who would you want to get married and all. So I really actually like very scared of marrying an unknown girl. So I thought, like, okay, Vidya could be a good choice. So I went and I asked her. She told, okay, let's probably give it a shot. So I went back, told my brother, and he told to my uncle. So my uncle and Vidya's father sat in a railway station and they discussed, and they like thought, okay, I'm a good boy, and I mean he agreed for this marriage. So that's how it all happened. And so my actual name is Karthee, and like, so after getting married I changed it to Karthee Vidya basically. So I wanted to add my wife name beyond it. So basically the inspiration for that actually came during my childhood. So like my mother, whenever she signed it like Lakshmi Mohan. So like as a little kid, I remember it's happened in fourth or fifth standard. I went and asked her, like, oh, your name is only Lakshmi, why are you signing as Lakshmi Mohan? So she used to tell, like in India, uh, wives add their husband's name to their name after marriage. So that's what she was telling. So I immediately ran to my uh, father and I asked him, like, okay, why are you not signing as Chandramogan Lakshmi and only as Chandramogan? I don't remember what my father told for that, but that incident stuck with me always. So I thought, like when I get married, I should add my wife's name to my name. Like I told, she's one of my biggest motivation and support. So like while we got married, both of us were cognizant at that time, and like within I mean maybe 1.5 years of getting married, like I told her I'm going to quit my job and chase this, start volunteering full time. So she agreed to it, and she continued to work in Cognizant. Then later she moved to Philips. She worked there, and so that's the biggest financial support for us at that point of time. And later, like when I need a full-time person within Team Everest, a good leader to handle certain departments, I thought Vidya could be the good option. So I asked her to quit her job and come and join. So today, if you look at it, like for lesser salary, she's working full-time within Team Everest, and she has handled very crucial departments like communication department. She has handled the CSR. So now she's taking care of operations. So she has been a huge support and one of the senior manager within Team Everest. So I'm very happy, like I got a very like-minded person as my partner who can understand and support me in my vision.
That's wonderful. So, in the last 5 years, as the founder of Team Everest, you have not taken a salary, right? And if I'm not mistaken, you got your first salary in 5 years in May 2020. And once again, 100% of which you have donated. So, how do you manage your lifestyle?
Okay. See, actually, I mean, I should say thanks to my dad and mom, actually. So, like when my dad passed away on May 2nd, 2013, I wrote a blog post that dad is God too. So, which in fact recently went viral on LinkedIn as well. It's reached like around 9 lakh people. It has reached and got like 23,000 likes, something like that. So, like in that post, I would have mentioned something that, like, see, because my father's family is very big and he is the eldest person in the family, so he needs to save a lot of money for the family. So he used to spend very less for himself. So he rarely take autos, he don't buy shirts which is more than 100 rupees. So always, like I've always seen my dad and mom saving money rather than spending it most of the time. So luckily, like when I joined the job, so like I think my first salary in Cognizant is somewhere around 17,000 or 18,000 rupees. So I still remember, like when I got my offer letter, I told my mom and dad, hey, why are they giving me so much money? Even say if they give me like 5,000 rupees or 6,000 rupees, 3,000 or 4,000 is spent for my rent, and 2,000 rupees I will use it for my food. That's more than enough for me. So that's my first thing that I told when I got my offer letter. So I'm always not so connected to money. So money doesn't actually inspire me so much. So so giving it is actually not a very big deal for me. So in terms of lifestyle, like all you need is a home to stay, you need shelter, all those basic things, and the food, and we have all these three things. So as long as we have these three things, money not a bigger deal for me, actually speaking. So like end of the day, you're able to chase your dream, do what you feel, with these three basic things with you. I think that's more than enough. So money actually is not a bigger motivator for me.
Oh, it's amazing how you had that much clarity, when you were in your 20s working at Cognizant. But when you
So
look at
yeah.
most people around, there is this, we sort of live in a bubble, right? For most of the common folks working in a 9 to 5 job, let's even take IT. We live in a different world, at least we seem to live in a different world where we don't get the full picture of the struggles of an ordinary underprivileged family. Right? So, what are some
Yes.
of the efforts that Team Everest has come up with to bridge this gap and promote volunteering? In a way where uh, common people, young adults who have a lavish lifestyle, for them to see the other side of the bridge.
Okay. See, if you look at within Team Everest, we do volunteering at 4 different levels. So one is at school level. How do you make a school student to volunteer? So we set up kindness clubs within schools to teach volunteering right from like LKG, first standard onwards, and make them like do volunteering. So that's the easiest way to teach kindness and empathy to a child. And then at college level, where again like a lot of college students, we set up kindness clubs, or they volunteer in some of our teaching initiatives, so that way they get connected to underprivileged children. Third level is the biggest volunteer engagement program for us. It's at corporate level. So we partner with a lot of corporates, like we partner with even with startups, SMB, small medium businesses, and corporates. So our smallest startup that we work with us just 2 person, whereas the biggest corporate that we work with us 2 lakh people. So that's the kind of scale that we operate at. So this is a great like CSR is there now, corporate social responsibility is there, so a lot of corporates does this. So far we are able to work with 50 plus corporates, out of which around 25 like SMBs. After our intervention, they started small CSR program within their office, and for the first time so many employees volunteered. So I feel giving a platform is very very important. That's what like during my stay in Cognizant, that's what I figured it out. Like when Cognizant started a CSR program called Cognizant Outreach in 2007, and by 2014, when I was quitting Cognizant, 40,000 employees were volunteering at that point of time. Imagine, just by giving a platform, 40,000 people are able to volunteer. So I would say, like volunteering, giving, helping others is always there within a human being. All you need to give us, like give them a platform, give them a little bit of motivation, a right trigger at the right time. I think a lot of people will actually come out and start helping others. So third thing is at the corporate level, and fourth thing is at the family level. See, if you look at as a country, like see, as a family, we go to a temple, we go to a beach, we go to a shopping mall, we go to a film. But as a family, we are not going and volunteering. But why not? So if you look at countries like USA, they celebrate something like National Family Day, Family Volunteering Day. So all these things they celebrate. Why don't such things happen in India? So I would say, like if developed countries have so much of strong volunteering mechanisms, I think countries like developing countries like India, where both you have privileged and underprivileged people, volunteering could be a huge tool, huge bridge to connect this gap. Because like a lot of individuals want to give back. So if you can create mechanism, processes, and systems in place to tap this potential and channel it to help beneficiaries, we can speeden up the process of development. And in the process, like you can impact actually more lives. So like unfortunately, like though we all are equal, we are divided because of money, caste, religion, everything. And money is something like which divides people really. So volunteering is something like which can actually help bridge this gap and bring people and make them live a good lifestyle. So I think that is where Team Everest plays a crucial role.
That's beautiful. What are some of the misconceptions that people have around volunteering that stops them from committing to it?
Okay.
How can we
So
change
see,
that?
if you correct, yeah. See, first of all, when people think about NGOs, people think NGOs will only ask money. So, which is a first wrong assumption actually. So, it's not about money all the time. So, see, I would say an individual can support in 4 or 5 different ways. So, say if you want to give money, you can give money. If you want to give time, so you can give time. If you want to give your skill, say for example, say you are an Android developer or an web developer, you can build an Android app or a web app for an NGO. So the difference between like giving time and giving skill is, say an Android developer come and say paints a blackboard, it is giving time, but he uses professional skill to come and use the skill to make a difference in the society, is skill based volunteering. Fourth way is they can help by doing in-kind donations. So they can donate, like say their dress or their toys, or like unwanted table, something like that. Anything in kind which you want, you can actually donate. So if you look at it, like people can donate, people can choose the way in which they want to donate. For someone, money would be a constraint. So such people can actually donate in terms of time. For someone else, time might be a constraint. They can donate in terms of money. So you choose how you want to give. End of the day, giving is more important. What way you give actually doesn't matter. So the first thing is, uh, helping others is not just about money. You choose how you want to help. That's one. Number two is, in fact, NGOs have a very bad brand within India. A lot of people think, okay, NGO means they are only cheaters. They will only ask money. It's not actually true. There are so many good non-profits in India, and there are so many good social workers there. I've seen personally. You just need to like we need to break that stereotype that no NGOs cheat. No, not really. There are so many good non-profits. You just need to do a little bit of research, work with them, find out what they do. Then you will understand what kind of impact they actually bring in. So that's two. And number three is, a lot of people think, hey, I don't have time. Life itself is busy now. How do I find time to volunteer? So a lot of people think, okay, I will earn money once I settle, then I will probably volunteer. So I would say volunteering is something we should never postpone. Find some time for yourself. Like end of the day, there is nothing that brings you so much joy than helping a fellow human being. The moment you start volunteering and helping others, it's so addictive. Like you want to volunteer again. I know so many volunteers. Like if I don't have conduct an event on a weekend, these people ask like, hey, what Karthi you're not doing, and even what will I do this weekend? So they feel as if they don't have any other agenda in their life. So we have very crazy people. I have even volunteers who come and fight me if I don't conduct an event on a weekend. So it's so addictive, and it's something that's more joyful. It's not. Most people think that we are actually helping a beneficiary. The truth is that like the giver actually gets more than the beneficiary. So I think these are some of the common consumption here, and I think that needs to be broken to enable more people to volunteer.
Wow, you gave such a nice perspective around some of them. Can you recall any instances or particular individual stories that turned out to be a watershed moment where you realized, okay, I have created something that is bigger than any one individual?
Okay. See, if you ask me, there are so many initiatives actually. So, like I told, we do this I Am the Chen scholarship program in Chennai, where we are selected 400 parentless, single parented students, and we are sponsoring their UG degree. If not, a lot of the children would have quit their job and quit their education and would have become child laborers. Uh, I could say n number of stories here. So I went to a student's home where like it's so small actually. I would say it's how small it is. They have a cot. Over the cot they've placed everything, chair and all, because they don't have place to keep the chair at the bottom. So what they do is, when some guest comes, they keep the chair near the door so that a guest can sit, and they have hanged one of the chair in the ceiling actually, because it's so small actually. So imagine the kind of places these children come from. I want to tell a story of a girl called Divya. So Divya is a parentless child. So she was living with her grandfather actually. So in a place called Tirukazhukundram. So in Endiran 2.0, you might have seen this village actually. So she was staying there. So one of the private school in that place actually volunteered to help this child by giving free education. And so she was studying there, and they didn't have enough money. Their grandfather was getting some pension, so they used to eat only like 2 times a day. So usually morning morning the nearby home give them food, and afternoon they make something, and night they don't eat. So that's the kind of life they lived. And the school was helping by giving free education to Divya. And during the 10th standard, the school told, okay, Divya, if you can score at least one centum, we will give free education for you in 11th and 12th standard as well. So she studied hard and she scored 3 centums. And the school actually agreed to give free education to her. So she completed her 12th standard. I think she scored around 1140 plus something out of 1200. And she got a seat in Anna University in Chennai. But unfortunately, she want to come and stay in an hostel. So she don't want to leave her grandfather. So she decided to actually stay back with her grandfather in Tirukazhukundram itself. So that's when one of our volunteer got to know about Divya, and she recommended Divya to us and asking for scholarship. So we did the due diligence and we actually sponsored her for our first year. So those were very early years. We didn't have enough money also, so we pulled in from our volunteers and we paid her fee. So she really studied actually very well. So we didn't have money for the next year. So meantime, we worked with a bank and we helped her get a bank loan. And when she got the bank loan, the first thing she actually did is she returned the money which we paid for her. She gave it back and told, you give it to some other student. So literally speaking, we didn't even sponsor her because she returned her money after she got the bank loan. But all we helped us to give her scholarship at the right time and help her get a bank loan. So during her final year, I think her grandfather passed away, so she didn't even know where to stay. So luckily, one of the mentor came and helped her, and she stayed in a ladies' hostel. She was like working like a warden, getting like some 1,500 or 2,000 rupees for her expenditure, and she got a safe space to stay. And during her final year, she's a very smart student, and she got placed in an big IT company, and she came all the way to OMR. I think she joined Infosys, I think. And she came to OMR, and see, whenever any festival happens like Diwali, Pongal, she didn't know where to go. So she used to stay in an PG there, and she will be just be there. I remember for one of the festivals, she even came to my home, and we were speaking together. So she didn't have anyone to do, but it's purely her hard work. And later she got an on-site opportunity, and she went to on-site. She lived happily there. And then I think 1.5 years back, she actually got married, and finally she has someone in her life to take care of her. Today, Divya actually sponsored one student part of Team Everest. So I think, like I initially told in this podcast earlier, that's the power of individuals. So individual has the potential to change life. Just a right help at the right time, where we identify Divya, like the volunteer who referred Divya, the school who gave good education to her, the people who helped Divya's family by giving them food. All of them played a very crucial role in making Divya a successful person in life today. So I think that's the power of volunteering, and this is one story I will always remember and close to my heart.
Oh, that's so beautiful. As you said, when you look at the story, it's just for one individual, offering her food, or take you, inviting her on a special occasion when she doesn't have anyone. These are just very small things from one individual's perspective. But when so many of us come together, it all adds up to something wonderful and beautiful.
Absolutely. See, today, if you look at it, we sponsor 400 people like Divya. 400 Divyas we are sponsoring for their UG degree. So this is not possible. We do fundraising, I would say, I think last year around 6,000 people sponsored to educate, say, 400 students. So, it's like small drops becomes an ocean, right? So that's how it happens, I mean, imagine just to educate one child itself, a father and mother needs to work throughout their life. Now, to educate 400 children is not easy job. So this is only possible because of the kindness of the volunteers and the donors. And without that, it's not possible. In Tamil, they used to tell like, ஊர் சேர்ந்து தேர் இழுக்கிறதுன்னு. So, like the entire village or the town come together to pull that chariot. So that's what it's all about. It's a piece of pure teamwork.
Amazing. So, Karti, for individuals out there who are looking to more than just donate, and actually follow in your footsteps, so how can they take that all important first step?
Okay, see, all you need to do is start small. So it's not that when I tell volunteer you're eating up our time or something like this. Like I told, like for most of the people, they keep volunteering at 15th option or 20th option in their life. Okay, when I find time, I will volunteer. I would in fact say find time to volunteer. So don't do volunteering when you find time. I would say you need to go find time in your schedule it. So in fact, today I got a call from US where a 70-year-old woman was speaking, and she told, she's volunteering for past 40 years, and she told even a single day if she's not able to volunteer, she's good at teaching yoga, she's good at telling stories. So she's telling even a single day if I'm not telling a story to a child, I don't feel happy and I'm not getting sleep in nights. That's what she's telling. So, like if someone could volunteer for 40 years, even when she's 70, she's telling like, I want to volunteer, please tell me, please connect me with some child. I think that's that enthusiasm. So I would say you should find time. So, that's like I told, we have virtual volunteering opportunities where you can even volunteer from home. We can connect with a child. We have do it yourself volunteering option where, like you can choose your own time and date and do that activity and come back to our website and upload it. So that's my advice. You should pick small, start small, like 15 minutes volunteering activity, 30 minutes volunteering activity, and slowly keep increasing that. And volunteering is something that can change lives, change our country, and change this world. So it's easy to volunteer, and I wish everyone volunteers.
It's amazing. So what is your vision for Team Everest 5 years from now?
See, 5 years from now, so we have a 2025 goal at Team Everest. So the goal is to this I Am the Change scholarship program. We want to increase it by 5 times. So currently we sponsoring 400 students. We want to increase it to 2,000 students. So that is one of our biggest goal. And the second goal is to increase all our. So like I told, like we are supporting 40,000 children through various programs per year. So we want to 10x this goal. So we want to help 4 lakh people by 2025. That's our second goal. And our overall vision is actually to inspire every Indian to volunteer. So I don't know whether I will be able to achieve that within my lifetime, but like your vision should be always bigger. I mean they used to tell that vision should scare you. So this is a vision that scares me actually, and in fact more than scaring me, it actually motivates me and inspires me to work hard every day. And that's where I myself, our volunteers and Team Everest is moving towards. So inspiring people to volunteer and help more people around us and make this world a beautiful place to live in.
Karthi, I can assure you from the little that I have seen from you, the enthusiasm you have, you're definitely gonna achieve that 2025 vision, and as well as your other mission of making sure every Indian volunteers at least once a month. So thank you so much for taking the time to do this, especially on such short notice in your busy schedule. So as we wrap up the episode, for people listening who want to reach out to you, be to learn more about your initiatives or who want to contribute to Team Everest, where can they reach out to you?
Yeah, see, easiest way is they can visit our website www.teameverest.ngo. So where we have given all the initiatives, so they can choose any initiative, sign up to volunteer, number one. Number two, we have a donate option on our website, so where they can donate. Second thing is, see, I would suggest, see, a lot of people would be earning their monthly salary. So see, if you're getting something monthly, I would suggest you should also give monthly. So donation need not wait. Donation need not be on only on special occasions. Every time you donate is a special occasion actually. So I would suggest people to become monthly donors, where you can donate any amount of your choice. Like 500 rupees, 100 rupees, 1,000, 2,000, whatever is possible for you. You can sign up as a monthly donor and support a child as part of our scholarship. So we run a monthly donation program called Hope. So when you log into teameverest.ngo, on the banner itself, we have an option to donate monthly. So that's an easiest way to sign up and become a monthly donor. And other way you can reach out to me is on my WhatsApp. My WhatsApp number is +91, which is an Indian code, +91 89 399 12365. I repeat, +91 89 399 12365. So that's the number. You can WhatsApp me, reach out to me. I'd be happy to connect with people and help us promote and spread volunteering.
Beautiful. Karthi, I wish you all the best to keep helping thousands of students and, of course, keep inspiring us all to take such initiatives.
Thank you so much, Krishna. I know, like a lot of your network has good content writers, copywriters, marketers. So in Team Everest, we need a lot of, content writers and marketers. So some content writers, marketers are listening to this. Please reach out to me. I wish, like your words can inspire so many people, and so many people aspire to volunteer because of you. Thank you so much for this wonderful opportunity.
Hey, thank you so much for listening. This is yours truly, Kaushik Kannan. I'm sure we're all left a little more inspired than where we were an hour ago after hearing from Karthi. Rather than leave it at that, we want to take it a step further. As Krishna mentioned at the beginning, we want to use this as an opportunity, as an impromptu fundraiser. For every person who listens to this episode, the Takeaway Club will donate enough for a struggling kid's meal, up to a sum of rupees 10,000. It may not be a lot, but we certainly hope it makes a small positive dent in Team Everest's efforts. We'd be delighted if you drop in a message, just so we know the message is reaching people. We'd also request you to share this with your community and as many people as possible, so that we can change lives and touch people together. And lastly, a lot of us will be saving on so many ways now, on fuel, on ordering food outside. So we'd urge you to consider contributing whatever you can to help these kids realize their dream of getting education. After all, education should be a right and not a dream to begin with.